Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. My name is Mahmoud Kiasari and welcome to my channel Special K. So today we are going to talk about one of the four of important operation methods, or arithmetic one, that it would be about the addition. So as I just told you in the previous videos, we're going to talk about different kind of subjects and topics like addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, fraction, decimals, and other kind of thing that I was talking about in those previous videos. So in this kind of series of videos, and we are going to talk about each of the subject in detail, solve many questions, and make sure that we are completely understand everything. So without further ado, again, these slides are the ones that we had before, and just for the review itself. What was the addition? Addition means then finding the total of the accumulation of two numbers, and the symbol was the sign itself. And we remember we had three methods for the addition. We had the column one, we have the mental math, and after that we do have the visual one. So for the some kind of the visual that we can see over here, we do have a line, and after that on the line itself we do have different kind of numbers. So imagine that we are trying to find the 2 plus 2. We are going to put the first number at this point, and after that another 2 means that we have to have 2 steps from the beginning to the end. So that would be just the number 2 plus 2. And we do have some basic examples. For example, 4 plus 3 is equals to 7, 9 plus 5 is equal to 14, and 12 plus 15 is equals to 27. And also we talked about another way that was about the mental math. It means that at this point, each number contains two things. One is a unit, another one is tenth. Again, each number can contain more than that. For example, 325 actually contains 3 parts, but right now we are only going to focus on the 2 section parts. So as we can see over here, I do have 15 plus 27, and I'm trying to find the addition of that. Again, 15 means 10 plus 5, while 27 means 20 plus 7. At this point, similar terms should be added with each other. 10 plus 20, so I do have 30, and after that I do have 5 plus 7. Again, remember we had the method that we call it as a carrying method. It means that we do have sometimes that whenever we do have the addition for each section, for example units, tenth, hundreds, or any other kind of part, if we just add them up, they are not going to fit inside each of those sections. As we know, for each section we only can put number between 0 and 9. So at this point, when I do have 12, means that 12 is too big for this point. 12 again contains 2 parts, 10 and 2. So it means that 10 in units actually is a number that should be added with carry. So 30 is going to be converted to 40, and after that I'm going to keep the 2, and I do have 42. So that was the mental math. So I do have the 10 for the first one, which was 15. I do have 5 at units. I do have 20 for the second one. I do have 7 at the end. And after that, what do I have? I do have some kind of 4 tens, and these guys are going to be added to each other. So I do have 4 tens, and these guys are going to at the end become 42. It means that the first 10, another 2 10, at the end I know that the adding of these two is going to make me another 10, and at the end I do have 4 tens, and I do have 2, and the final answer is going to be 42. So we also had an example, and at this point you can just try that, but just pause the video. You can do it by yourself, but just for the review itself, 9 plus 6 is equals to 15. 7 plus 8 is equals to 15. After that, I do have 45 plus 18. Again, we are going to use what? We are going to use the carrying method. Why I'm trying to focus on that? Because this is the very important part. Carrying method, are in the subtraction we got called as a borrowing method, and in the multiplication, again, we are going to be some kind of familiar with it. It's another method is considered as a very important part. That's why I'm trying to emphasize on it. 45 plus 18, again, we do have 13, means that 13 is not going to fit inside the units. So I have to move the 10 to another part. So 1 is going to be added up to this point. So I'm going to, instead of 13, keep the 3. I do have 6, and I do have 63 as this value of this point. What do I have of 55 plus 32? So this one, 67 plus 32. So at this point, I do have 99. There is no need for carrying method. Everything is okay. 138 plus 85. So you just can find it. 223, 264 plus 179. I do have 443. Don't worry about that. We are also have a couple of more examples at the end of this session. So you will completely be familiar with the whole process itself. So, and another thing that I mentioned was about the table of digits. It means that each of those numbers, based on the units that they are in it, they do have a value that we somehow you guys remembered as a place value. So it means that at this point I do have, for instance, if I want to add two numbers, I do have 227.65 or 2765, and I do have another number which at this point I'm going to make it a little bit challenging, 972. I do have another number as 857, another one as I do have it 1724. So right now I'm going to add all of them, but look at the names. So the numbers that we do have over here are going to be considered as ones or units. And on the next position, we are going to call it as tens. After that, I do have hundred, thousands, 10,000s, and so on and so forth. So the important thing is the value of each unit in each part. Each unit or each number inside this part only worth 1. Each unit at this point worth 10. At this point worth 100. At this point worth 1,000, so on and so forth. So imagine that we do have 4 numbers like this and we want to add them up. Let's see what should happen. So I do have 5 plus 2 plus 7 plus 4. What would happen at this point? 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 7 is equals to 14. 14 plus 1 is equals to 18. As we can see over here, 18 is too big to be fit only in ones. Ones only can accept each of these parts. Ones, tens, 100, 1,000. Each of them only can accept a number between 0 and 9. So 18 is too big. As we all know, 18 contains 2 parts, 10 and 8. It means that I have to keep the 8, and after that I have to move this 10 to the next part. So the 10, this 10 is going to move to another one and is going to be considered as a carrying number. This carrying number is going to be some kind of considered in the next addition, which is related to 10th. So let's do that for 10th. So what do I have? I do have 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. 13 plus 5 is equals to 18. 18 plus 2 is equals 20. And after that, I do have 21. Again, I do have 21. It means that this guy contains 2 number of tens, which is going to give me a number of 2 carry. And this another one is going to be 1. But don't forget that I still do have a carrying number. So at this point, I should consider this carrying number. So at this point, a problem just happened because the addition was a little bit wrong. So again, I do have 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. 13 plus 5 is equals to 18. 18 plus 2 is equals to 20. And the one actually we consider at this point was the carrying number that we had from the previous part. So 21 is going to be the final number. But as you just remember, the 21 is too big. I only can get or only can keep the number between 0 and 9. Out of 21, I do have 2 number of tens. So I do have a 2 as a carrying number that should move to the next side, and I will keep the 1. So far, I do have 8 and I do have 1. So let's work for another one. Again, for the next part or the hundreds, I do have 7 plus 9 is equals 16. 16 plus 8 is equals 24. 24 plus 7 is equals to 31. But again, remember, I still do have a carrying number, which is 22. So at this point, I do have 33 for this side. 33 contains 2 things. I do have 30 or 3 number of tens, which will give me another 3 as a carrying number, and I do have a 3 as units. So I'm going to keep the 3 at this point. I'm going to move the 3 to the next side, which is for 1,000. For 1,000, I only have 2, and I only have another 1, which adding them up is going to give me 3. But I'm not going to forget that there's another 3 for the carrying part, so I'm going to have the 6. At the end, I do have 6,318. So it wasn't that kind of challenging. The only thing that you have to be careful is about the carry number, that you have to keep it from one point to another. So right now you have different kind of examples. You can just pause the video, think about them, and after that we are going to do that together. So let's work on each of those examples one by one, and after that, if you can master this, some kind of questions, you are sure that there is no question that you can solve. You're completely going to be bulletproof. So first of all, I do have this one. I do have just like this. So I do have 1021 plus 1210. So again, 1 plus 0, so I do have it as 1. I do have 12, do have 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. I do have 2, and after that 22, 31. Easy. There's no carrying number. They're just numbers by side. Again, remember, for adding, subtracting, multiplication, and any other kind of operation, remember that if you're using the column method, you have to put all of the numbers side by side and beneath each other. It means that units by units, and after that tenth by tenth, hundred by hundred, thousand by thousand. So you have for the first one. For the next one, again, 6 plus 1, 7. I do have 1 plus 1 as 2. 6 plus 1 as 7, 727. Easy. For the next one, I do have 1 plus 8, which is just 9. 2 plus 1, 3. I do have 7 plus 3 plus 4, which is going to be as 7. For the next one, I do have two numbers, 222 plus another 222. Or I can consider this one as 222 multiplied by 2. We are going to talk about it, but this is the definition of multiplication. I do have 4, 4, 4. Easy. Let's work for the next one. So what do I have? I do have 411 plus 946. 1 plus 6 is equals to 7. 1 plus 4 is equals to 5. 9 plus 14 is equals to 13. Remember, 13 is not going to fit inside this point. So 13 actually contains two numbers. 110, which is going to be considered as one carry number that is going to move to the next position. 3, we are going to keep that, and after that, we are going to move to the next part. So for the next part, I only have 1 as a carrying number. There is no thousand part, so I'm going to keep this 1. At the end, I do have 1,357. So let's move to the next part. So I do have 618, 861. 8 plus 1 is equals to be 9. 6 plus 1 is equals to 7. But again, I do have a problem with 6 plus 8, which is 14. Again, as 14 equals to 10 plus 4. I'm going to move this one carry number to the next point. I'm going to keep that value for my point, and after that, I do have this one as an answer. Easy and fast. 924 plus 429. 9 plus 4 is equals to 13. Again, remember, 13 contains two parts, 10 and 3. This is the one carry number is going to move to the next part, which is over here. 9 plus 4, I'm going to keep the 3 at this point. 2 plus 2, again, remember, I still have to keep this 1. So 2 plus 2 plus 1. This part is going to be 5. I do have a 4 plus 9. This one is going to be 13 again. So 13, again, it has 10. One carry number for the next one. 3 is going to be for my units. So I do have 1,353. Easy. Let's go for the next one. This time we do have 3 different numbers. I do have 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is equals to 5. Remember, there is no carrying number. I don't have to worry about anything. 0 plus 6 plus 2 is equals to 8. 1 plus 1 plus 6 is equals to 8. 8,853. For the next one, I do have 1 plus 6 plus 1 is equals to 8. I do have 1 plus 9 plus 6, which is equal to 16. 16 contains two parts, 10 and 6. 10, one carrying number to the next position. 6 is going to be at this point. I do have 6. I do have 1 as a carrying number. 8 plus 6 is equals to 14, plus 1 is equals to 15. 15 contains two parts, 10, 1 as a carrying number, and 5 as a unit over here. I do have 1, I do have 5 over here, 15, 68. Let's move to another part. I do have 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, 3, easy. 2 plus 1 plus 2, I do have 5, easy. 0 plus 6 plus 4 is equals to 10. 10 only contains 110 as a carrying number and 0 as units. 0 is going to be here, 1 is going to move to the next position, and also I do have 1 plus 1, so it would be 2,053. Easy. I do have 3 plus 2, which is equals to 5. 5 plus 8 is equals to 13. 13 contains two numbers, 10 and 3. 10 is going to be 1 as a carrying number, 3 is going to be as units. It's 3, and I do have 1 as a carrying number. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. I'm going to add this one with another one, so I do have 5. And for the next position, I do have 3 plus 2 plus 8. This number going to be 13 again. So I do have 10 as one carrying number. I do have 3, and I'm going to keep it. 3 and a 1, and that's it. So that was all the questions that we have. Again, you can also see the answers over here, like the one that we did. Everything is the same. So make sure to focus on the question itself. First of all, try to read the question, completely understand it, and after that you can solve all of the questions in this part. Thank you very much for being at this video. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be about the subtraction. Have yourself a great night, day, or whatever. See you.